I'm gonna get back to that story, Sonny. Just you listen to Boomer Great One. He's gonna tell you about how it was back in the olden days, back before fire, back when we walked uphill for everything. In fact, we didn't even have a concept of downhill because there was no downhill. Everything was uphill. We thought that was normal. We didn't even have a word for it because there was no alternative. It was uphill all the time. You just need to reach down and grab yourselves by your bootstraps and pull yourselves up, Sonny. Because when I was your age, I bought a house for $25,000. And I made that money on my paper route and bussing tables at the local cafe. And if I could do it, you can do it too. You just need to reach down and pull yourself up and just buckle up there, buckaroo. God, I hate boomers.
So we have an original request. If you got an original request, which you just pay me to talk about what I want to talk about, as opposed to regular requests where people have questions about their individual, you could pay. Though I'll do originals too when I get around to them. It's just this kicks them up to the front. So someone paid me to do original, and this has been going around in my mind for quite some time, and it's there on the to-do list, and it never goes away. It's all right. We're gonna expunge this one. I'm gonna have joy. I'm not gonna cross it out with my fingers in the pen. No, I'm not gonna take the pen and cross it all like this. I'm going to grab it and go, eee! Really cross that fucker off the list. So, as you know, Cappy is angry. The anger doesn't go anywhere. There's good reason for the anger, but it's to control your anger and not to let your anger ruin your life. That's why Cappy used to regularly go to anger management. Now I'm perfectly happy now. There's no problems. And this requires you go down things like Stoicism and things and stuff like that. And what you do not control, which is all good. But there was I found on one of my old to-do lists, Banker Hunter comic book. And it was a spoof, but it'd be a good comic book to write. Aaron Clary, Banker Hunter. And instead of having my much more real, serious, doctrinal, I guess, book behind the housing crash, where I record everything and math and charts and data, it'd be way more fun to take those exact same stories minus the charts and graphs, and the end is not some baby boomer banker threatening to fire me because I didn't approve a loan, or I was being too harsh, or these entrepreneurs, scum bucket real estate developers who are just thieves and all that, where they get the financing anyway, and then years after I quit, they all end up filing for bankruptcy. What would be great is if it ended in me in a fictional world, Aaron Clary, Banker Hunter. I hunt these fuckers down in a comic book, not in the real world, and just have a chat with them. Just talk. How you doing? Yeah, I know it's 2 a.m. and I know you're duct taped to the bed there. And now where your wife's over there. Let's have a chat. Let's just talk. What do you think about price to sales versus price to earnings? You ever hear of debt service coverage rate? Do you believe in debt service coverage ratios in excess of 1 or below 1? Just curious. Just want to chat. Just want to chat. Come on. Who doesn't like a chat at 2:30 in the morning in your house? Anyway, so without a doubt, I'm not advocating this at all because it's illegal. You go to jail. Other victims are involved. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, did I think about ways I could end some banker scum. Oh. Wait, and sleep soundly the same night. Like, come back home. Well, that's done. Have the best night's sleep in my life. These people were such fucking scum. Fucking scum. Lots of anger. And me being told that, oh, you're a bad economist. You're not a team. You didn't do this right. Still to this day, I don't like the shade of gray on that chart. I don't like. Can you understand? You understand, right? See, like, not kidding. He literally, oh, I don't like the shade of gray on this chart. Fucking 60-year-old man. Oh, woo. Anyway, me having to deal with what I dealt with in the build up to the housing bubble might be unique, but everybody has anger. And anger comes, it doesn't come from, oh, I'm angry at a tornado hits your house. You're not really angry at the tornado. It's not sentient, but most real anger comes because it comes from other human beings because they've wronged you or done something unethical. That's pretty much like, I'm not an expert on anger, but yeah, 99% of the anger's got to come because somebody fucked you over or did something unethical or made your life a lot harder, unwarrantedly so. And this could be some, divorce. It could be crime. But what's very common you're going to run into is when you run into ideologues whose life views go against yours. And I'm okay, I'm straight, I'm not gay, but someone can be gay, but we don't conflict. It's like, well, that's not antithetical to my existence. Usually where you run into it is leftists because leftists are by I'm not making this up. By their nature, they're parasitic. They need your money. They need you to partially enslave yourself to the state to pay the taxes to keep them alive. That's my main complaint with the left. So it is against my best interest. It lessens my quality of life because now I have to work harder to support people who are not going to support themselves. I mean, they could, but some cool, clever middleman came in called Democrat says, well, we could tax those people and give them, well, we'll come up with an excuse. You're disadvantaged for, here's your selection of, your menu of reasons, sir. But in this particular case, it was bankers getting in the way of me effectively doing a job, not to mention preventing a housing bubble, and threatening my employment stability. Right? So you can say it. So more commonly, you're going to get into this with political disagreements because one people's group of politics lessens or is antithetical or can absolutely ruin yours. And usually yours, your especially in these spheres, it's leave me the fuck alone. I'm not going to ask you for money. Stop asking me for money. Now, you guys will get very upset when people come up to you and they'll say, well, you owe me money because of these reasons, or you're unfairly advantaged, the feminism and patriarchy or institutional sexism or things like that. And then you get very angry and then you yell on the internet. Some of you are stupid enough to actually threaten violence, which you should not do. But let me give you another idea that helped me a lot. Okay. I've never threatened violence. Oh, I wish. I know there's some bakers still. A couple of them had died because they're old. They died of one, this fat pig, he died of a heart attack. He just should have been alive, just to be stroked out. That would have been justice in my mind. I mean, don't get me wrong. Just like Grandma Tilly from Nebraska is driving real slow. I kind of want to ram her off the road, but I don't advocate you do. But to help you be calm, to help you find some solace and peace in this, there's one thing beyond would you want to trade situations with them? That's a good argument too. All right. For example, Grandma, which really, don't lie to me. Some old lady with the little handicap license plate driving in the left lane from Iowa really slow. Don't let you all want to run her off the road. It's a piece of you does. You're not going to, we're not advocating, but there's a piece of you that does. And then the would you trade places with them argument, very good argument to calm, manage your anger, and not be violent, is what's it like being someone so stupid you're in the left lane going 5 miles an hour under the speed limit? Let's fall through on that. Then we'll get to the added tool in your toolbox to relax and calm and find solace and justice in this world. If Grandma Tilly is driving 5 miles an hour in under the speed limit in the left lane, or which is very common what Nebraskans do, they just stop in the middle of the road. not in the interstate, but through the Black Hills and all, because they come up. Oh, ma, look over. They will just stop in the middle of the road. Typically, RV drivers who are subhuman. The RV drivers are not humans. They're bots. They're NPCs. They don't have souls. Could just stop. Right? What would it be like for Grandma Tilly just to go to the post office? You and I go to the post office, right? We know what we're going to do. I got to go get stamps. Okay, you go get stamps. You get in. You don't even talk to the person. You go to the machine to get the stamps. Why? Because you got your shit going on. You're smarter than the average Tilly in the left lane from Iowa. Tilly, really, if she's lacking that much awareness to stay out of the left lane, every other decision she's not capable of making common sense, logical decisions, let alone quickly, let alone the right ones in nearly every scenario. Where are you going to park? Come with me now on a journey with Iowa, what was her name? Mildred, whatever. First, she's going to have to figure out where to park. And she's going to stop and look. Oh, it's all confusing. Oh, maybe I'll park there. She's going to have to take at least an extra minute to park because she doesn't know how to line up the lines. I'm not kidding. If you're dumb enough to be driving in the left lane, 5 miles an hour under the speed limit, you're not smart enough to line up your car and come in at an angle. You got to kind of go out to get a good approach, a good angle. She increases the chance her car's going to get dinged or scratched. She gets in. There could be a big old sign, entrance that way. She'll tug on the door anyway. Now I've got to hobble over, and then figure out the line. And then she's going to ask the postmaster a billion fucking questions. Where do I get stamps? Get them here. Oh, what kind of stamps do you have? They're right in front of you. Oh, what do you think? Because you can't make your own fucking decision. You can't just, this is a law of physics. You just cannot make your own if you're Tilly. If your grandma Tilly, oh, is there a good deal? Everything has to be analyzed. Everything is confusing. There's no obvious mission or goal. Lord Almighty, let's say after 3.5 hours of getting a booklet of stamps, then she's got to leave the post office. What are the chances she remembers where she parks? Now imagine that's just a trip to the post office, right? What's it like for every other getting gas, buying groceries? Have you seen people? Have you seen what a hurdle it is for some people to pay for their fucking groceries? It's even in the checkout lane, self-checkout lanes. So that's one thing where slow or dumb people, and maybe not malicious, right? What's their life like? Oh, if you want to be malicious, okay, welfare bums. They get Section 8 housing. Have you ever seen Section 8 housing? Would you like to live in government finance squalor? What about the mentality that nothing is your fault and everyone's out to get you and you're oppressed by Group X? And it's defeatist and there's no hope and all you can do is sit here and ride the frickin' L, or everything smells of piss and shit because you're surrounded by Democrats in the government house. Not a joke. I'm going to assume that the smell of urine and feces is a little bit more common in government financed housing, not financed government Section 8 housing, than not. Right? What's it like day to day? No hope. So that's one way to it's already a living hell for that person. You don't have to lift a finger. But another one I've found is you don't have to get vengeance on people. If you have principles and ethics and you're not a thief and you're not a parasite and you support yourself, right? You guys are the people who are going to transgress upon you, the ones who are going to violate you and piss you off, are going to be unethical. There's some, they could come up with a reason or rationale. They're going to take their stuff. They want to approve a loan so that they can, get a McMansion in the suburb, and you could get pissed off at that. And you could even try to argue with, hey, you really shouldn't be on welfare. That's parasitic. Don't you know you're enslaving other people, like at a micro level, everyone else? Hey, you shouldn't print off more money for free shit. Don't you know that that causes inflation and essentially enslaves future younger generation? Hey, you shouldn't run deficits like that to pay for welfare bums and this and that. Don't you know that the young people are further enslaved and that's less money in the market could be lent out? I don't mean to get into book. And then another reason, the housing. You shouldn't do that. And all you hear back, okay, fascist, okay, pig, names, right? Gets very agitating. I understand, gets very angry when you're like advocating responsibility and self-supportation. And somehow you agree with a guy with a funny mustache and want to kill a bunch of people. I can trust you, me. Be a Republican in Minneapolis in the 1990s at house parties. Tell me how fun that fucking was. Well, I think we should lower taxes. Why do you hate black people? What the fuck are you talking about? Why do you hate women? I understand. Very angry. You get furious. Even in the disingenuousness or disingenuity or the lack of intellectual honesty, they lie right to your face. They know. They know. Calling you names if you're not one of the popular kids. I don't support socialism. Oh my God, do you want to like kill babies? No, that would be feminists in utero. That is just hey, whoa, hey. Don't worry, it's good. They all have shirts that celebrate it. Go look it up. And you're getting whatever. Somehow you're being violated, and then people lie to your face, and it fucking infuriates you. And then you think you're gonna win the argument, like you argue from intellectual honesty, empiricism, reason. Trust me. I've been doing it. I did it for 25 years, man. I did it for a quarter century. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. And all you end up doing is making yourself more angry and more pissed off and more frustrated because they're not listening to you. It's almost as if they know what they're doing and have every excuse in the book and don't give a fuck because they're completely amoral. This is evil. That is evil. Like the bankers who lent the money anyway, knowing full well there was no way that these loans would be paid back, but these bankers always switch employers every 2 to 3 years. So by the time that loan is delinquent or in default, that banker's long gone. They don't care they got their commission. Scum, fucking scum all over. Scum and villainy all over. So how do you not get angry? This is where you let reality do your hard work for you, right? Again, assuming you are principled, assuming you are not taking money from other people, you're advocating independence, not theft, not parasitism, not laziness, not sloth. Anyone arguing against you is then obviously arguing an unprincipled, amoral argument. Right? We can argue whether, conservative politics, leftist politics, let's just say amoral and moral. So you have principles, you have ethics, you're not, golden rules, some really basic rules. Anyone's trying to argue against that otherwise, they are unethical. Now, I've said it before, but if you are an unethical person, no honor among thieves, it doesn't just affect your politics. Like the bankers, this may shock some of you. Sit down, everyone. Everyone grab their sitting down chairs. The bankers who were scumbags and just approving loans so they could get their commission, could you believe they were bad at their finances too? And that when they got laid off and the housing crisis came, there were no more bullshit loans to be, including the real estate developer bros. When their house of cards fell down, could you imagine they didn't save up any money and that everything was borrowed? And that when the sheriff came by to kick them out and repossess the house for them, inevitably when this happened, that their entire lives collapsed because they were also scumbags with everyone else. Their marriages weren't the greatest. Wives would divorce them. Can you imagine the people who collect government checks and come up with every excuse in the world not to work also are lazy? I don't know if you could call them friends. I know you got family. I don't know. Do you even have friends? Because everyone's trying to stab each other's back. There's the culture if you happen to go back to the trailer park or the barrio or the ghetto and you happen to join the military or something. And then there's your whatever brother or cousin or best. Oh, you think better than me? Think better than me? Yes. Yes, I am better than you because I'm not whatever dealing drugs, collecting welfare, impregnating the local trailer park gal. Shit, where was I going with that? The ethics. If you have the ethics Oh, the behavior. If you have ethics and your political, philosophical, economic, career adversaries don't, that means they are bad people. They have poor ethics. They have no principles. And so just as they ruin their personal finances of everyone else pay for me, they also poison every other aspect of their society, whether it's friendships, family, whatever jobs they may or may not be able to hold down. And so the rest of their life is miserable. You know why? Because reality, okay, fine. You get a bunch of socialists in there and they vote pro crime, which they do. New York, Minneapolis, San Francisco, pro evil, essentially. All right, fine. You can do that. Reality doesn't care. The rest of the people on your each and every individual relationship, they're not going to hang out with you. They're not going to, girl's not going to marry you. You're not going to get good quality people in your life. And you can go ahead, fine, you get whatever, EBT from the government, or you get a student loan bailout. You cheat your drug dealer out of money, he don't care. He's going to come after you. And reality, yes, there's law, but there's also just the real world doesn't tolerate assholes. Because reality is made up of individual people. And if you're screwing over whatever, the taxpayer, the shareholders of the bank, the lenders, the borrower, whatever, you're probably screwing over other people, and those people aren't going to tolerate it, and you can never make any progress. And so where's you? Oh, they get free this, they get student loan bailout. Oh, the banker gets his commission. Right? Yeah, but at the end of the day, for what point and purpose and reason? What's their life like? Because if you're a dick, you're not going to succeed in life. No one wants to hang out with you. No one wants to invest in you. I don't mean that financially. I mean that in terms of relationships. If you don't have human relationships, you got nothing. This is why you see those people, Bubba Bobob down in Mississippi comes out of the trailer park, wins the lottery. It's gone in 5 years. He's back to square one. Because there wasn't pissing it away, buying dumbass, I don't know, trucks, whatever people buy. I don't know. And then it's all gone and got nothing to show for it. They didn't have good people. No one's going to invest. Oh, people will screw them over and take them. Oh, hey, Bubba Bobob won the lottery. There's a lot of that. There's the guy in Jamaica who won the lottery and wore the scream mask when he went to collect it, so no one knew who he was because he knew everybody would be reaching out for him for a free loan. You could have $1 million. That's your life. That's your community. That's the group of people you hang out with. That's your reality. Holy fucking shit, that is miserable. And choose which out. Okay, you guys are feminists. We don't need men. We don't necessarily like men. Get out of here. You're oppressing us. It's my generation now, right? I'm looking at a lot of Gen X gals who believed, not all of them did, but some did. I'm looking at a generation of spin. I know one gal in particular. Holy, exact epitomal definition of a spinster, Batman. Nothing was ever her fault. Men were always pigs. Her ex screwed her over. No, you're just lazy and you didn't work hard. House got repossessed. Again, it's not necessarily the fact that she was feminist. It certainly wasn't all the other people in the world. She was just a lazy person who didn't want to work and used used the patriarchy, the misogyny, the men were keeping her down and oppressing her. Like, no, you just made bad decisions. Now, you may get all upset. It's like, no, it wasn't a man that made you buy more house than you could afford or made you an early childhood education. That wasn't a man that did that. You did that. And you could get very upset. We don't have enough money for the children. All the hypocrite, all the lies, right? I need more money. I need a bailout. Right? Okay, give me more money. At the end of the day, you fine. You got bailout. Bank, I think, took a loss on her house. She is a pissed off, angry woman right now, and ain't no guy gonna love her. Gonna die alone. Because how can you interact with that person? Person abdicates responsibility all the time. That's someone you can invest in and counter-invest, let alone quality, let alone an interesting or intellectual person. You can't have good, healthy adult relationship when you're a kid. It's different. When people never grow the fuck up and never take responsibility. And so you look at these people who abdicate responsibility, are very childish in their outlook. And everything is everybody else's fault. Nothing's mine, and I need more. Who the fuck is going to hang out with those people? And even with government help, even with a bank bailout, even with these people are such low quality, poor people, there's reality won't tolerate them. They will make no progress in reality. And you can see it. The bankers, if you want to go on the banker side, dude, I've tracked a couple of the old guys I used to work with. The best one, in terms of the career, he didn't. God, this was 12, maybe even 13 years ago. Yeah, 13 years ago. This guy is still the same rank, like entry level banker, entry level fuckwit at another shitty bank. I'll give you a hint. In Wyoming, I looked at this guy. Oh, this guy didn't like me with my numbers and facts. It wasn't my numbers and facts. It's the tax returns. This guy hasn't gone anywhere in 11 years, 11, 12 years, even. Yeah, 13 years, 13 years. Still working in the same shit industry, same shit rank, no progress whatsoever. And that's the best one. One guy, I can't say what, started running a scam racket and that failed. Then he ran another scam racket and that failed. And now he's doing it's not a scam racket, but it's like, oh, tell me, I can't say what it is, but you know how, like, if you got nothing else going on in life, you become a realtor? Or what are the other ones? Multi-level marketer type of deal, jobs where your thing fucking failed on one regard and now you're just gonna grab this. That's his domain. This guy's old. He's got to be retirement age. He ain't got no money. He ain't got no money if he's doing all that other shit. Another guy just disappeared. One guy I do know, but he was a good banker. He was trying to stop all that shit. Now, there is some justice. This guy's vice president. It's like, all right, good for you, man. But the rest of them, they were fucking losers. And there might have been low interest rates in a temporary environment where they were allowed to fuck over the taxpayer, fuck over the American people, but it was very short-lived, about like 3 to 4 years. And what, a decade and change? What's it like being a 63-year-old man who still has to work and you just keep avoiding work like some privileged white girl liberal from the suburbs who's going to major in journalism and keep trying to make that racket go? What's that like? Could you imagine the hell it must be running racket from racket to racket to racket? Some scheme, the type businesses. Oh, I got a sales man, gonna make some sales. Oh yeah, I gotta get a sale, but this deal, come on, man. And don't even get me started about all the commercial real estate developers that God, they are all bankrupt, all gone, all their wives divorced. I gotta look some of them up. I should look some of them up. I know one guy did jail time too. All because they're just lazy sacks of shit and didn't want. Fine, okay. Banks got a bailout, which they actually did end up paying back. But let me ask you this, everyone who's pissed off at the bankers, could you have punished the bankers more than reality did? Could any of you punish the gal who nothing was her fault? It was all patriarchy and she's this miserable, pissed off spinster. Could you punish her more than what she's punishing herself? Oh, here's another one. I had a note. Think about this. Disney. All right. Disney is doing this to all of you. It's doing this to all of you. It is producing shit movies, and on top of the shit movies, there's a layer of icing of DEI, affirmative action stuff. All right. That's just, I wouldn't call it icing on the cake, probably shit on a shit sandwich on top of it. And a lot of people don't like it because it's low quality shit. It's bigoted. It is, because you're by definition promoting one group of people over another. Also in your face. I think they're doing it on purpose. Let me ask you this though. You get all angry. Should you get angry? Disney's movies, just the movie division, not the rest of the company, they lost $1 billion in 2023. Now keep in mind, that's their loss, right? The amount of money they spent was multiple times that. They spent, and I'd have to look up the numbers, but let's say they spent $8 billion. That's $8 billion in resources they spent. They only took in $7 billion in revenues, thus a $1 billion loss. But think about that. They wasted $8 billion. The money could have been employed somewhere else to actually make a profit. In other words, the net loss was $1 billion. So at the end of the day, Disney suffered $1 billion loss. Could you do $1 billion of damage to any corp? Could you wreak $1 billion? I don't know, $1 billion. Like, you need to be a tornado in a metropolitan area to wreak $1 billion of damage. But what you have is an ideologue that's unethical. And in Kathleen Kennedy, Disney's case, it's not that they're thieving, scheming around. They're unethical in that they're not based in reality. They're lazy. They don't want to put together a good show. And they're also politically motivated, where we're going to promote this group of people over all else, including a quality show and all that. They pay the price. I couldn't cause Disney $1 billion. Nelson Peltz couldn't cause Disney $1 billion. Could you cause more harm and havoc to, I guess, she got to be about 60 years old, to the 60-year-old woman whose life is over, and when you look at it, all of it was wasted? And I don't know how many generations of people live off of welfare after generations, after generations, after generations. What's a life of poverty like? Could you harm people more than the Democrat Party has harmed their voters? You got people in San Francisco so warped in their mind that they're either shitting in the street, or they will try to back rationalize why, well, it's okay if we have homeless people. At least we got homes. At least we have toilets. I couldn't wreak more psychological damage on my political enemies than the Democrat Party wreaks on its own voters. Could you go, what hell are you going through to get to the point you're shitting in the street as a full-grown adult? What fucked up, weird, up-your-ass logic do you got? How many lies? How warped is your values? How big is your ego? You say, that's perfectly fine, that's okay, at least we have toilets. Could you make your average San Franciscan's life more worse than what they've already made it themselves? And then, of course, there's Minneapolis. Fascist pig, because I want a balanced budget amendment, lower taxes. And now I know some of those people have kids in the public schools. Like, hey, how's it going? And then it gets burnt down. Then there's riots. I'm like, huh? And what do? Let's get rid of the cops. 48 to 52. They voted 48% to get rid of the cops to 52 against. They barely got. I can't make your lives more miserable. I just can't. And so what you got to do is you got to let reality do your punishing for you, because it's way more wicked than you'll ever be. You let reality win your arguments for you. You don't argue with the 23-year-old recently graduated women's studies major at a house party about the merits of capitalism. You let her go get her doctorate because she couldn't find anything with a bachelor's degree. She goes into shit ton of student loan debt. And here's the thing, even reality will do the punishing. Okay, there's no doubt. You cannot live in, here's ultimately what boils down to: evil, whatever, you may disagree with those terms, but a hypocritical life. You cannot live a lie and get away with it scot-free. Reality will punish you. You can't be fat and overweight and then expect to have yourself some wonderful love life, or a long life at that. Right? You can't major in dumb shit and then think you're going to get some kind of six-figure job. Reality will punish your hypocrisy. It will. But man, what's brilliant to watch is how I don't think reality can even win arguments. Because if you look at it, some people are so far gone, like, no, again, buddy of mine lives in a fancy place in San Francisco. All of a sudden, a homeless guy started camping on their little atrium. He was one of 3 people out of, I don't know, 20, 30 people lived in this apartment, who's like, we got to get rid of that person. Everyone else, like the programmed little lemming bitches y'all are, well, at least we got housing. Okay. Reality, it will punish these people. I don't know if it will win the argument. But if a homeless man, whatever, stinking up the joint, potentially threatening people, whatever, riots, Starvation. If none of that convinces people, shitting in the streets, if that doesn't convince people, what you over the internet, you at some house party, you trying to Twitter or Facebook back, you think you're going to win an argument with these people? And so it's where the Stoicism comes in. Look, man, you're not going to convince them. Trust you me. Tried it for 25 years. With data in charge, no one wants to hear it. They want to believe in what they want to believe because, frankly, that's a true American privilege. That is, and it's the most damaging one long term. It's what's going to end this fucking country. Is like, we get to believe in farts and bullshit. We get to believe in lies. I've never convinced anyone. Never. Not one person have I ever convinced. And I was right all the time. Whether it was a housing bubble or .com bubble or the education degrees or something, like the unemployment rate. I bet people I bet you the unemployment rate is whatever, 4.5, because I just saw the chart. All right, $5. And then you shut up because now there's an actual cost associated with it. You'll never convince these people. And for whatever, bankers stealing from the taxpayers, students stealing, college students stealing from the taxpayers, welfare people stealing from the taxpayers, everyone blaming you for their problem, whatever it all is. In the end of the day, they're living a lie. And you could say, by God, you're stealing my money, blah, 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 blah. Or you just say, wow, that kind of person is a hypocrite. That kind of person is amoral. Reality is not kind to hypocrites. Reality is not kind to amoral people. And your life is just too damn short to be going around and seeking some kind of revenge, arguing with people. It's certainly too short to be arguing with people. Internet or not. And what's helped me, and hopefully it helps you, is just take a second to say, what's their life like? And God almighty, the internet is great for this. Go on LinkedIn. Here, you want to try an experiment? Let's try an experiment, okay? Let's go with arguably, well, not arguably, literally one of the most worthless groups of people ever, journalists. Go look up any journalist's LinkedIn profile. Yes, there are some. It's a very asymptotic, the top 1% of journalists are the ones who make all the money. But the vast majority of them are nobodies. They're leftists. They advocate theft. They advocate parasitism. They advocate the abdication of responsibility. Nothing is anybody's fault. If we just had more money, blah, 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 we want you producers to be enslaved more so I can feel good about myself. I'm going to push this because it's popular. Easily some of the laziest, most hypocritical group of people ever. They're utterly contemptible, utterly hateable, right? And you can argue what you're going with. Just go look at their LinkedIn. All the not thousands, but they write at a score of different no-name websites. The reason they write at a score of no-name websites because there ain't no single job that pays them enough to live. All these fake awards they come up with. No, they don't come up with it, but there's all these fake awards. Like, I won a writing contest in middle school. I mean, not kid and middle school I haven't seen, but there's like some high school awards they put in there. How are you going to punish the independent journo more than what reality is already doing right now? So that would be my argument. And look, hate will eat at your soul. It'll put you in a bad mood. And there's no reason to get into a bad mood. No reason whatsoever. Just say, what's their life going to be like? And then look at it. Just say, okay, they got a degree in whatever. Sociology. Why are they begging for, why do they need more government aid? Well, because they're not making enough money. Why is this girl going out with the douchebag? Why is she going out with a nice guy like me? Well, wait till they get divorced and she's a single mom. just give it time. All the girls complaining on the internet, can't find a guy. Oh, okay. That's like popcorn time right there. Just look a little and then ask, oh, could you hurt Kathleen Kennedy more than what she's doing to herself right now? Okay, fine. The gal, I don't know. She's a billionaire, multimillionaire. She's loaded. Okay, got all the money in the world. And think about this. You'd have all the money in the world, right? This is your last job. And all you do is make shit. And your entire audience, well, ain't your audience anymore. They left. Like, this is shit. This is garbage. We're not there. Why even, You have billions, but your life is hell. You got a headache. You got to deal with people. Fuck you. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, people who graduate with the master's degree. Oh, look at me. I got a master's degree. You remember New York University? There was a TikTok video of all the girls announcing their like truly ridiculous degrees, and you get agitated. Yeah, whoa. Just okay. Think about the next day, man. Now their employment prospects are the same as they were back in high school, but now they got $80,000 in student loan debt. Could you punish them? Could you punish the liberal art majoring students and the social science students more than them having $100,000 in student loan debt at 8.75%? I couldn't. I think a lot of it just, one, not even engage or argue, and two, kind of look, okay, where are they in life? Use some logic and reason. But then I wouldn't even bother with these people. Huh? Yeah, more tax. Sure. Well, go right ahead. No, that's fine. Yeah, no, I'm sure that'll solve your problem. And there's what? Patriarchy? Men are pigs because they like thin women? Ah, sure, you're right. They are. Men sure are scum. You keep yelling at them. I'm sure that will make men like the non-skinny women. You keep yelling at them. That's right. That you spend your entire life yelling at them. That'll be great. You do that. I'm going to go fishing. Fuck this shit. So there you go. And I think once you realize just what low quality and caliber, unethical, or at least hypocritical people you did, delusional people. Evil is a pretty drastic accusation. I would say definitely hypocritical or delusional. Once you realize these people are all living a lie, and ultimately they don't want to work for a living, and they have no intention of being honest, you just be done with it and realize that hypocrisy is going to punish them way more than you ever could. Dude, the peace that comes with that, and like, you know, and the lack of anger, or it's almost like you cheer them on, where you normally say 15 years ago, someone would say, well, I'm majoring in, pick a stupid degree, political science. I mean, what the fuck is wrong? I'm like, oh, really? Are you? Oh, cool. You know, you probably should get a master's degree because that was, you know, maybe even a PhD. That'd be because that's really hard to find a job now because of Trump. You know, Trump wasn't president for the past 3.5 years. Yeah, Trump's making it real. If you got a master's degree, that'd be good. Then I take you seriously. You don't need men. Men are pigs. Okay, right. You know, you should have nothing to do with half the population. They couldn't possibly be the source of happiness. Whatever you do, you don't settle. And then go cry on the internet some more. Yes, you think about that one. Could you punish yourself more than the average girl crying on TikTok? How fucked in the head are you that you're on a fucking national, international internet platform crying because you can't find a guy? And then whatever, 2 videos later, I don't need no. Wow. Just get your popcorn, enjoy it. It's there for your entertainment. And once you get to that, you actually get in a better mood. Why? You're like, oh, how are they going to fuck up their own lives today? Yeah, it sure. And you go with you. Oh, it sure is Trump. Oh, yeah, those Republicans in the Senate. Sure is them that you're shitting in the streets. Right. That's that. Oh, yeah. Patriarchy. Oh, yes, patriarchy. Yeah, very bad. Yes. No, you're right. You should. I was joking about it, but it would. Think about the misery, the joke I came up with, where we'd have the Department of Motherhood at the federal level, where you would actually have government trained, academically trained women who, I guess you could have guys too, trained in motherhood. And then there would be no mothers, right? I mean, there would be mothers, but you would outsource the child to the state, and the biological mothers could come visit, but the state and all of its wisdom with PhD educated women, but men as well, would do the mothering for you. Like, oh, bring that on. I'd love to see how happy people are after that. Let's do it. What else? What else do you want? What else? What other crazy ideas? Oh, let the homeless person sit in front with tuberculosis. All right, yeah, let's see how that goes. Get rid of the get rid of the cops. Let's see. 2 points away. They're 2 points away from it. So, and you know what? You go and you live your own life. You inoculate yourself from these people. You have nothing to do with them. And then you go and enjoy a nice, peaceful, quiet life. You're like, Cappy, how do I do that? I got 2 books linked below with it. One's an essay called Sanity is the Future of Wealth. That's a very, very short read. And the other one is Enjoy the Decline, Accepting Living with the Death of the United States. But if it helps you be less angry, more calm, and I think it would lessen violence. There's not that much. If it's kind of interesting, especially with the guys, you come to a fork, and I think guys, because of the lack of testosterone and drugs and welfare programs and pot definitely and video games, so what I'm looking for, it's it's not a depressant. I mean, it kind of depresses the system. It calms you down. They're going, they're retreating. They're not attacking. They're just saying, fuck it. They're giving up. They're demoralized, demotivated. And so I think it's kind of going. So I think guys are actually somewhat healthily retreating into video games. And I know this sounds bad, but prawn, because you don't get angry. Let's be honest. Are you bad? Are you in a bad mood after you look at the prawn or play your video games or do your Adderall? Probably not. Booze, drugs. I mean, I'm against some of those things in excess, of course, but if it's being angry at the world all the time, I'm like, yeah, do your pot. Be happy, man. Chill out. So, but for those of you who, especially politically motivated people, who are like, it's like, yeah, you just look. Could you have made it? Could you make it worse to live in Minneapolis? I couldn't make it worse. Just let them do it. Let them do their thing. They know everything. All right, let's go to the super chats quickly, and then I'm going to go and enjoy my day. Hat and Clogs, $2. What's up, Hat? What a homie. What's going on, Cappy? Love is love. Yes, it is, Hat. Yes, it is. Hope you're doing well down south. Wisdom Vision Productions, $5. Cappy spitting facts again. I don't argue with anyone anymore. There you go. Yeah, and you had the, I think, was it your brother or somebody where you think you're better than me? Because Wisda, hold on, everybody. Wisda dare to go get a life and a job. Very few life topics require debate. Speak thy peace and let reality decide the victor. Yep. Or vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. There's a lot of truth to that. Maybe not God coming down and smiting thy enemies, but thy enemies more or less smite themselves. Wisdom Vision Productions, $5. I may not be able to run grandma off the road for driving slow in real life, but I can do it in GTA. Yep. That game is anger management therapy for nerd rage. Well, it's for everyone. For everyone. Oh my God. Look at this. Jeez. Athabel Decu, $2. Nice hat. Mexican poops. Yeah, I like it. I got it from our common friend's friend in Chicago. The Glutton, $2. As a white man, how do you feel about patriarchy? My race has nothing to do with it. Patriarchy, it's just laws of nature. And I have yet to have patriarchy defined for me. Is it the supremacy of men? That's not what I'm for. Is it that men have certain roles and women have certain roles, and we evolved over many, many thousands of generations to play to these strengths and weaknesses? Yes. I'd call it more of a division of labor and specializing in economics than I would patriarchy or matriarchy. But how do I feel about nature? I'm like, well, nature is reality. Well, I wish we had happiness studies going back, into the 1800s and the 1900s. Back when it was your patriarchy. Were women happier back then? I don't know. I don't. We don't have the polling data. I know they're getting less happy now. But as a libertarian, though, it's like, not my choice. I don't know. You do what you want. I have a very patriarchal relationship with my girlfriend. I'm more or less the final arbiter on all things. There's no arguing. There's no debate. We're doing this. I mean, of course, if there's important decisions to me, we're like, well, what do you think? Man, I'm not a tyrant. But at the end of the day, a decision has to be made. Like, yeah, but I've seen in fairness, I've seen other relationships where the guy, you look at him and like, oh God, geez, he's not going to make no decision. He's not the leader. And occasionally there's the gal who wears the pants in the family, and it works. You know, they love each other and all, but she's the more aggressive one because you have to have someone make a decision. I don't know, you're born with the dick and it works this way. It's like, nah, you generally, yeah, but not always. With Division Production, I know another couple where it's like, yeah, without her, he'd be fucked. She's the one that she's on target. She's on point. So it's more Captain First Officer, Division of Labor than I would say patriarchy would. No. Some really intelligent women who were spoiled living off in the suburbs back in the 50s and 60s thought they knew better. They implement a whole bunch of, not even laws, but different social things. They told everybody how it was. We'll see how that goes. Wisdom Vision Productions, $2. I was better than you on my tombstone. Oh, dude, Wisdom. That's good. You should say, damn right I'm better than you. Damn right I was better than you. That'd be good. That'd be good. Hey, speaking of a gal, Erica's Classy Climb. Please subscribe to her channel. $5. Take a sip of water every time you say finance, bro. Real estate developer, bro. Fastest growing group of single mothers, 37 to 42 years old. Reality late. Yes, very interesting. The teenage pregnancy is going down quite rapidly too, which is a good thing. I think young girls are finally starting to pay attention that it's bad. But then, yeah, a little bit younger than me, but you got your older millennial gals who, girl boss, menopause, what's that? Don't need no. Did a little bit too close to the don't need no son, and now they're starting to have kids very late in life, single mothers, because, through in vitro and all. Well, we've done several articles about it. But, there's another thing about reality. Okay, the fifth example or sixth example, wherever, not all women, but a lot of women's refusal to believe in menopause. I don't think people don't believe in menopause, but it seems that they're going to get lucky or they don't take it seriously. And that I can't find Mr. Perfect. And then they run off and get in vitro. And then they find out an article and research came out recently that's you only got a 1 in 3 chance of getting a healthy baby through in vitro with frozen egg technology. And now they're all crying and everything. I can't claim to be a woman. I am not a woman, therefore I can't claim to be one. And I can't claim to know how women feel about certain things. I just don't. But it would seem to me, if you look at polling data and talking to a friend of mine who consults women about getting pregnant, women really want to have kids. Men, not so much, but they do want to have kids. And if all of a sudden they can't have kids, it hurts. Most women want to have kids. Not all, but most. And when they don't have kids, it's very painful. It hurts them emotionally. Can you guys cause more harm than that? Oh, they'll hide at night. They're going to cry themselves to sleep at night. They're not going to share their problems on the end. You're not going to see this, right? They're definitely not going to, because that would show weakness and honesty and integrity and maybe help out a future generation of women. But we don't want to have that. We want to have right, ladies? All future younger girls must be as miserable as you, right? That's the rule, apparently. You're all right all the time, and don't you dare think of doing anything different. You can't dare be happier than me. Could you cause these? Generally, you would be politically and ideologically opposed to the girl bosses, which are generally your feminist leftist types. Not always, but generally. Could you cause them more damage and harm than them essentially preventing themselves from having kids? Could you cause them more damage than that? I couldn't. Oh, I heard an earful growing up with these this generation, but there was the same thing. Don't need no look. Okay, all right. Again, libertarian, go do your thing. Yeah, okay. Well, now you're crying because you can't wait. What? Popcorn sales. Invest in popcorn sales. J.R. Redenbacher. That's a publicly traded firm. There you go. Lots of popcorn are going to be sold. Hand clogs, $2. I raise a chicken tendy to the glutton. Oh, yes, thank you. And now all hail, put it in your armpit. Everyone put it in the armpit. Oh, the glutton. Oh, here's a guy here, to the glutton. 2 chicken tendies in the armpit. That's how you tell who the real rich welfare collectors are. They got 2 chicken tendies, EBT afforded in their armpits. Rachel Wilson, everyone should go get her book, The Feminist Occult Origins of, I'm sorry, The Occult Origins of Feminism. Please look that up on Amazon, $5. Turn on your redirect so Andrew can send what? Oh, don't make me go ahead and I don't want a boomer technology. What's a redirect? Why can't you young people stop inventing things? Turn on your redirect. I'm on stream. Hang on, Rachel, do me a favor. Email me or text me later. Explain what that is, and then I'll find it. But I don't know what a redirect is. I don't. Mark Magana, $10. Thank you, Mark. Bought shares in local bank that I use, Pink Sheep Microcap. Went to stockholder meeting. Was excited to go to this. Became sad when I realized most of the board of directors aren't that bright. Dude, Mark, why didn't you contact me first before you bought into a small community bank? All right, small community banks are morons. That's the type of banks I worked for. Generally, I did work for some larger ones. But yeah, man, I don't know why these banks exist. I never got into the shareholder side of things. But I do know I was because you can look up banks that are insured by the FDIC, their financial figures are public. Right? So you look it up, you're like, why the hell is this bank even in business? Who keeps investing equity fund? Like you get shareholders keep infusing capital into it. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you running this? Why do you lose money? I'm not conspiratorial, but I've never understood this. Yeah, next time talk to me, Mark. Don't. Are the board? I don't know the local bank. Are they a bunch of old farmers? Oh, are they a bunch of old bankers who still think it's 1973? Jimmy Carter. Shark Taw's 10 generous dollars. Please subscribe to his channel. When two people disagree on something, reality becomes the final court of appeal. I let reality do my dirty work. We'll be in touch with a video request soon. Old man, what the hell? Are you younger than me by much? I thought you're not that much younger than me. Are you, Shark? Yeah, it is. Be moral, support yourself, work hard, don't steal from other people. And if those are your principles and morals, anyone who disagrees with you is on the wrong side of ethics, and reality will punish them. Or being arrogant. I think, not to get too philosophical, one of the 7 deadly sins, like don't have the 7 deadly sins: gluttony, sloth, pride being a huge one. Nothing's my fault. It's always that person's fault, this person's fault, the government's fault, Republicans' fault, or men's fault. I almost like reality will crush those with the 7 deadly sins, or one of the 7 deadly sins. So why you have to pick up a sword? Lay down the sword and pick up the popcorn. Huh? Look at that. Fucking Socrates over here. Lay down the sword. I'm writing that down. I'm putting that on my to-do list. Hang on. That was brilliant. Even I'm going to claim that one on my own. Lay down the sword. Pick up the popcorn. Oh, man. Boy, am I smart. Shucks, howdy. SMRT. Thanks, Shark. Mad Dog Radio, $2. When Walt sees Disney, he'll ask to be refrozen. Well, there's another. Every company that went woke. Target lost money. Bud Light, or whatever the parent company is, Anheuser-Busch, I believe, they lost money. You can, fine, go be racist, sexist dicks. And that's what you're being. Okay? There should be no politics. There should be no traits. I don't care if it's, it's okay to just go. No, stop bringing race, traits, sex, gender, politics at all. Stop bringing it there. Make a good fucking product. Oh, no, they got what would that be? Pride, arrogance, hubris. We're gonna see. I'm gonna look out. I got my degree in marketing. Okay, fine. Oh, look, $500 million loss in profits, and your market cap went down by $5 billion. Oh, great. Yeah, add value. Yeah. Sarku, the five-headed lord of worms, $5. We are our own worst enemies and can do a great deal of harm to ourselves. Dude, nice extrapolation on that too. Everybody think about this. Who has hurt you most in life? Other people or yourself? I know it was me making bad mistakes. I didn't even make necessarily life-crippling ones, life-impairing ones. But the one who has hurted myself, the one who has hurt myself the most is myself. I bet it's probably the same for the vast majority of people. You made a bad decision, not intentionally. You're trying to hurt yourself. Good observation, Sarku. Wisdom, $2. Apathy is the future of sanity. Yes, not giving a fuck about these people. I just don't have time to give a fuck about parasites and hypocrites. I really don't. Oh, fine. Go and have fun in your den of hypocrites and parasites. Have fun with that. Hatton Clogs, $2. Yes, Cappy, we love the state mother. Yes, state mothers. We need state mothers because private sector, you can't trust those other moms, biological moms, to do their job. No, we need state moms. Nonstop Dre, $2. I expected the worst from others and I'm happier. Yes. I no longer expect competence, or fine, dude. My investing has even helped, like hedging against stupidity, which is what crypto is, essentially, precious metals as well. Not buying dumb shit like cars. Nonstop Dre, $2. Having a F you pay me attitude is a real life cheat code. Yes, but it needs to be backed up with skills that they need. It's still better to have that than all. Like, no, you're not taking advantage of me. You're going to pay me now. No, I'm not doing 6 rounds of interviews. We've done 2. You either make a decision or not. I can leave. I don't care. Well, that kind of attitude, bye. Jorge, yes. $5. Cappy is right. I see more young women showing up for self-deletion, ideation, and alcohol-related issues in the ER. No kidding, Jorge. Really? It is up. The data and the stats do show it up, but you're on the front lines. You see it. Well, they know what they're doing, Jorge. You see, you don't understand. It's the men are just so oppressive, and the patriarchy is turned up to 13 now that they have to drink the problems away. You put them there, Jorge. Not them willingly drinking out of the bottle. No, it was you. I shouldn't laugh, but it's the justice. It's the look. Could you guys come up with something worse than drinking so much you end up in the ER? I can't. Here's another thing in economics about revenge. It takes your time. You got to spend so much time getting revenge, whether it's something legal like via a lawsuit or I don't know, raising awareness of, like what people did to Sweet Baby Inc., like just telling people about their service, which you would think would help market it. But when your service is, let's hate people and do shit work. Well, there you go. Could you hurt someone more than a massive hangover that you got to get your stomach pumped at the ER? I couldn't. Takes too much time. Too much time. I got too much fun to have. That might be the way America gets out of this, is all the productive people and the dudes, and we just say, hey, yeah, you know what? You're right. Just go do your thing. We're out of here. Like, what would happen on the internet if people just stopped responding to all the leftoids and the ideologues and the political people? What if you just said, no, I'm not dealing with that anymore? Yep, you're right. You're right. You need a student loan bailout. Yep, you're right. Yeah, we need more money for whatever group of people. Sure. Okay, fine. Bye. Nonstop trade, $2. I always ask myself, what's in it for me first? As you should. As you should. Goth Rocker, 10 generous dollars. Just worked a 24-hour shift. My man. All right. Good for you, man. made insane overtime, made over $1,000. There you go. That's how we did it back in school. So Christmas break, Thanksgiving, Christmas break would come. We'd lose 2/3 the security force, but same amount of buildings. And we'd just quadruple up. And yeah, 24-hour shifts, very common. And we'd make enough money to pay for tuition the next quarter. Women say I'm a loser. I'm 40 years old and don't care that I am alone anymore. I used to care, used to bother me. Screw it. Yep. You work hard, you work overtime, you make good money. Still, there's another, I don't know if that would be pride or just simple delusion. Oh yeah, you're gonna find your 6'4". Yeah, good luck, have fun with that. And instead, here, what's a healthier approach to that? Women's general rejection of men in the West. What is a healthier response to that, men? You getting all angry and pissed off, oh, curse you, space dandy or space woman. Or just like, okay, cool, see ya. I gotta work. I'm gonna play my video games. I'm gonna go watch Space Ghost. What's better? What's a better use of your life? Drew, $2. Just walk away because it's never worth it. Sarku, again, $5. The more time that a man has to spend on a daily basis for his existence, the better off he will be. I believe the same is true for women and children. The more time the man has to spend on a daily basis for his existence. So not work. I mean, just like house, family, that kind of stuff, better off he will be. Yes. I believe the same is true for, well, it's the same for everybody. If you spend more time on yourself, that's a better existence. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue with a feminist. You're right. Keep doing what you're doing. Sure is the patriarchy. I gotta go. See you. Bye. Drew, $2. Hopefully I'll get the security gig and coast. Good for you, Drew. The glutton, $2. Lay down sword and popcorn. Just look out for number 1. What's wrong with the popcorn? There's nothing bad ever came from popcorn. There's not one article in the history of the world that, oh, this guy had popcorn, something bad happened. Sarku, the 5-headed lord of worms, $2. The state is mother. The state is father. Absolutely. All hail the state. Drew, $2. I gave you the idea for banker. Was that you, Drew? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Drew. I appreciate it. Non-stop trade, $2. It's Cappy's fault. Women became egg freezes. It sure is. I'm sorry. Goodbye. Men did this to me. Yep, they sure did. I'm sorry for that. That's horrible what they did. I gotta go get groceries. See ya. Bye. The Republicans in the Senate, they sure did. See ya. Bye. Generation Apollo, $5. The moment of patience and a moment of anger save hundreds moments of future regret. Right. Guys, rule number 1, stay out of cages. Just, there's no reason. Oh, you get a lot of this training with carry conceal. Like, yeah, here's my wallet, man. Okay, you can have it. I'm not going to go through a lawsuit. I'll just cancel my credit cards. We'll find out who you are because you're going to go run off. We'll get a picture of you. Call up my company and say, yeah, stop the credit cards. I'll get a new, and then you're going to go to jail. Here's the wallet. I could shoot you dead right now, but I'm not going to because that'd be a nightmarish lawsuit and legal hassle. There you go. There it is. It's all cool, man. Absolutely. Just like, oh, whoa. You're angry? Because whatever. This thing or that, you're right. You're absolutely right. Rich should pay more. You go vote Democrat. Absolutely. Let me know how that works. Drew, $2. Working in corrections made me make good decisions. Good for you, Drew. And Drew again, $2. Having a clean criminal record is worth it. Yes. There's no guys. If you're in a cage, prison or jail, doesn't matter. You can't do anything. You're stuck there. Like, what? You want? Oh, sure. Yeah, no, whatever. You need that is bothering you. It should bother you, and it's completely not your fault. Absolutely. Yep. Mm-hmm. Nope. I'm not gonna. That's the other thing is the riots that happened. I'm like, it was leftists burning other leftist property down. Okay. All right. Well. Oh my God! Someone got attacked on the New York subway. Oh, how about that? Jeez. Huh. Well. It just isn't enough money. You don't have enough immigrants in New York City. You need more social workers. Yeah, that's what you need. But arrest anybody who defends someone else. Absolutely. Popcorn. Where's the popcorn? The Glutton, $2. Popcorn is great for watching nukes. Too true. All right. There you go. Thanks for all the generous super chats. Link below. Sanity is the future of wealth. And then enjoy the decline. I'll see you guys later. Toodles.